Greetings, one and all, and welcome to my first movie review of the new year! Sorry, this is a bit much. Before we begin, a very special thank you goes out to my Patreons, John Borg, James Givens, and Bradley Amiel Julian, who make my days brighter with their small but very appreciated monetary donations to my channel. If you would like to become a Patreon, it's easy and we have lots of room for you. Just visit the link in the video description below. The lowest tier is only $5 a month, and for that you get exclusive content and you get to make preferential movie suggestions for the VHS Vault and more. So become a Patreon today. It's no exaggeration to say it really does make you a better person. So, Night Swim. The cinematic masterpiece tour de force that answers the age-old question, what if the dumbest, dullest people in the world made consistently terrible life choices about possessed pools? Should you miss the chance to witness characters navigate murky waters, both literally and metaphorically, in this thrilling saga of poor judgment and dimly lit swimming areas? Yes, you should. Night Swim is a 2024 horror movie featuring Wyatt Russell and Amelie Hoferle. In it, a family moves into a new home while the father, a former baseball player stricken with early stages of MS, tries to rehabilitate with the razor-thin hope of rejoining his team. The house has a pool. The pool is haunted and wants to pull innocent, annoying family members into the spirit world. But on the other hand, it's also a magical wishing pool that grants you your deepest desires and heals you of your ills. So it's a win-win situation, basically. Do you know those old haunted house movies where there's a haunted room and everything would be fine for everyone involved if people just stayed out of the haunted room, but the movie keeps coming up with lame excuses for people to go into that haunted room, and then haunted things happen because people went into the haunted room that they should have just stayed out of in the first place? Imagine that, but with a swimming pool. Just drain the thing and call it a day. And I know what you're saying, but it's a pool! How do you not go into a pool? Pools are fun! I'm sorry, but if I go into a pool and a demon tries to drag me into a drain once and only once, I no longer have a pool. I have a lawn. This is why I, despite the fact that I'm white, know I would survive a horror movie. It's because in addition to being a coward, I'm also very smart. What's that? A mysterious hoarse voice is beckoning me into the barn? Oh no, the barn burned down. What's that, kids? You saw a lady in black upstairs with glowing white eyes who disappeared right in front of you? Well, it's time to move. I don't care how nice the neighborhood and the schools are. We're getting out of here. The ghosts win. They can have the house. We're just going to sleep in the car for a couple of months. Night Swim, as you can guess, is a movie that documents a series of inexplicably bad decisions, both by the characters in the movie and the writers of the movie itself. Kids see demons in the pool and they don't tell their parents because the parents will never believe them. The parents see demons in the pool and they don't tell the kids because they don't want the kids to be frightened. Oh, it's fine for the kids to swim in the pool of the damned, but don't tell them about the monsters living in it because that would be too traumatic. It's like the script of this movie goes out of its way to keep the characters as stupid as possible, just so we can put these same characters in the water as many times as it can. Logic be darned. Example. We have this kid in this movie. At the beginning of the film, the pool eats his cat, and he's devastated by that because why wouldn't he be? Cats are awesome. Near the end of this movie, the kid, who is by this point fully aware that the pool is cursed and that evil lurks among the chlorine and the gallons of pee that churns in the waters below him and that the pool wants to eat him, hears his cat crying from a floaty that's just floating in the center of the pool. The kid, obviously being at the top of his class, crawls out on a diving board so he can retrieve this unseen cat. Now, if you already know anything about bad horror movies, you know the cat isn't there and that the pool is just trying to trick the young lad. But here's the thing. The kid is tall enough where he can see inside the floaty. He doesn't even have to go near the water. Just walk over to the other side of the pool and look! Oh, dang, there's no cat in there. You almost got me, pool. To which the pool would reply,
Yeah, good job using your senses to actually look inside the floaty. Most idiots would have just crawled out on the diving board. Well, I'll get you next time.
For at least 30 minutes, no one has any real reason to go into the water, but then the dad gets possessed by what looks like poo water coming up out of the drain. It goes into his mouth, and honestly, if that would have happened in the first act of this movie, it would have made the movie make a whole lot more sense. Basically, the pool is healing the dad's MS while trying to eat his kids. It's a tit-for-tat situation, which honestly is fair and slightly more merciful than the American healthcare system, but here's the thing. Why not make the dad have full knowledge about what's going on? Why not have the pool be a temptation for him? Something along the lines of Little Shop of Horrors, where his dreams are coming true as long as he feeds innocent victims to his pool. Why not have the wife in on it or the kids be in on it? Why not have them feed a bunch of people to the pool to make their father whole again? It just seems to me that this movie actually had potential, but the writers were either too lazy or too stupid to capitalize on it. That's another thing about this movie. The body count is low. Very low. It's 2 people and a cat. Now, I'm not even going to lie here. I was most broken up about the cat. But if you're going to go see this movie hoping to see a bunch of people get eaten by a demon pool, you're going to be disappointed. But then again, if you go see this movie, you're going to be disappointed no matter what. I can't talk about this movie without talking about the Nepo baby in the room. Wyatt Russell, by the gods. This guy was awful. A flat performance from beginning to end, emotionally checked out from every situation. His complete detachment and lack of care for the part that he was playing made his character feel like a sociopath before the pool possessed him into the de facto villain of the movie, and even then, he doesn't seem interested in what he's doing. Wyatt Russell, more like Wyatt in this movie. My friends, there are good actors who happen to be the children of famous Hollywood actors, and then there are bad actors who are only actors because of mommy and daddy's good name. I'll give you 3 guesses what Wyatt Russell is, but you're only gonna need 1. I know this movie is bad, but you could have said no and let someone who's hungry for a role take it over. It wouldn't have made the movie that much better, but it certainly wouldn't have made the movie worse, like Wyatt Russell did. Night Swim is a movie that will have you questioning the concept of fear, or at least questioning the concept of what other people think you should be afraid of. Should I be afraid of wet people in bad makeup? Should I be afraid of brown water coming up out of the pool? Okay, I am afraid of that one. It was a truly traumatic incident and why I don't go to public pools anymore. The suspense in Night Swim is so elusive that the writers couldn't find it. The jump scares are so predictable, you might start predicting them just so you have a means to stay awake. This is the kind of horror with characters so stupid that you actively root for the demons, and so agonizing that the most horrific thing you will come across is when you check your watch and realize you're nowhere near the end of this tenseless schlock. If boring the audience was the goal, Night Swim is a success, but we know it wasn't. Not in the least little bit. Night Swim is a groundbreaking film that boldly explores the uncharted territory of making every character annoyingly oblivious to their own safety. The plot is a riveting roller coaster of frustration as protagonists seem to possess an uncanny ability to choose the worst possible course of action at every single turn. The film's cinematography deserves applause for managing to capture the essence of darkness in a way that leaves the viewers squinting at the screen, questioning not only the characters' choices, but their own decision to watch this cinematic masterpiece. If you enjoy facepalming and yelling at fictional characters, Night Swim is for you. And that's it. That's my first movie of 2024. I wish it would have been better. I mean, who knew you would find a bad movie in January? Did you see Night Swim? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comments below. And what do you think of Wyatt Russell? I've seen him in Monarch. I've seen him in Night Swim. I just don't care for the guy. I just don't think he's that good of an actor. But I don't know. Maybe you do. Tell me below. Maybe I'm being too rough on the guy. Maybe I'm just jealous. Maybe I'm just a nobody who's just angry that he's gotten success and I haven't. Even though I kind of have. I have success. I mean, I'm not in a bad horror movie, but I would say that in itself is a success. And be sure to join us next time when we find out what Jason watches.